In the last episode, I asked you a question, what happens when you sign up? I want to bring back that analogy of a restaurant. Let's go back to that taco place. I want you to imagine with me. You're sitting comfortably at a restaurant and you put in an order. Imagine that in the back kitchen, there are multiple chefs. There are chefs that are specifically qualified to make seafood tacos. There's some that are specifically qualified to make vegetarian tacos. There's some that are specifically qualified to make vegan tacos. And there's some that are specifically there to make chicken and beef and pork and steak tacos. When you sit there and you say, I want one vegetarian taco, when you say that, the waiter comes in, grabs your order, and they go into the back kitchen. Who do they give this order to? They have to go and find a vegetarian chef to make your taco. When that order gets to the vegetarian chef, imagine that we have a fridge that has different shelves. And on those shelves, imagine that we have some vegetarian shelf and we have a shelf for like all the meats like the chicken, beef, pork, steak, and we have some vegan shelf and we have some seafood shelf. Now, this vegetarian chef, once they get your order, they have to open the fridge, look in that shelf that has vegetarian ingredients, take that out, make your taco, and then once it's ready, call your waiter to come grab your food and bring it to your table. That's a whole full stack application happening. Again, what you see is your interaction with the waiter. What you don't see is whatever is happening in the back kitchen and what they do to go find the specific chef to make your food and what the chef is doing in the fridge, how they're doing it. You don't see that, but that is happening before and for you to get the food. And that is exactly what happens in a full stack web application. Let me go back to that sign up. You fill in information in that form and you hit sign up. So the waiter grabs the information from your sign up form, goes find a specific chef, aka a specific entry point that's made for that data, for the sign up data. Then wherever that data is received, an action to actually sign you up has to be triggered. And you can think about our fridge as a data store, a database where data is stored. Then we grab this information, put it in the data store, and then we say this person is signed up, signed in. Let's give them this new page of welcome Nelly. And then the chef or that endpoint grabs this information, sends it back to the waiter or whoever made that request in the first place, and sends it back to the front end. And that is the whole journey. Next up, I'm going to talk to you about breaking down those things that happen in the back end and give them names and be able to start talking about terms that I want you to remember when we're talking about what happens in the back end. And for your homework, if you want to start looking this up, I've been talking about this endpoints or this entry point. What the hell is that? And between the endpoint and the database, what happens there? I want you to start thinking about that. And when I come back, I'll fill in the gaps and I'll start giving you some terms that I want you to remember. And then we'll be on our way. I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, I'll catch you. Peace.